back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, your knees are slightly bent as your arms go over your head. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. You know, honestly, I'm hoping they'll get sick of this and like just move somewhere. Lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, over your toes. Exhale, back to your chaturanga dandasana. That's your hovering plank. Push up, downward dog. If it feels like we're doing a push up, it's because we're doing a push up. Bottom of your exhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, hands to your heart. This time let's go to the side. I'm moving, you don't have to move. We're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, mirror me this way. Inhale, up. Exhale this way. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive, forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Same exhale, lower down, hover. Inhale, over your toes. Exhale, back to your plank. And then to your down dog. Hovering plank, that is. Inhale, your right leg up, down dog splits. Exhale, replace your right hand with your right foot. Your back heel is going to come to the ground, your hips are going to face forward, and your arms are going to come up as warrior one. So, this workout, this is my March workout. Since January, I've been making different sequences for the different months. This is March. And in March, we're kind of doing some work in March. And the theme for March is non-resistance. You saw me not resisting those pets? I was totally not resisting them. We're rolling our shoulder blades back and down the back, opening the heart. There's a lot of leg work here. And we're just being with it. Good. Then we're going to step forward. Oh, go into your pyramid pose. I forgot my block. Pyramid pose is like this. We got the same leg forward. I like to be on a block. Coming down like this. Now, this is a video and maybe you don't have a block in your house, so you can lean on like whatever. Whatever you got that's like this height. That'll bear your weight. Alternately, you could go like this. I kind of like doing pyramid like that. Note that in pyramid, my pyramid is pretty short. Both of my feet are facing forward. They're like railroad tracks. And my hips, importantly, my hips are both facing forward. Find that place. And breathe. Good. All right, we're going to take this block. We're going to put it a little bit in front of that foot and a little bit to the side. And we're twisting. I got my left hand down and my right arm up. And I'm trying to keep my hips still square to the front as I twist. You can shorten this up if you want to. This is a big pose. Revolve triangle. Crazy big. We're deep in the IT band here. Even though it's not a hard pose, it's a stretching pose, it's still intense. Really intense. Be nice to yourself. Find the pose in your abdomen. Find it in your IT band. If your balance is wobbly like me, you can move your feet. Get to a place where you feel stable. Okay, here we go. This is big. Taking that block forward. I'm about to run into the Xbox. I'm taking my block back. See what I did? I took that same pose and made it in the air. I'm doing a revolved half moon now. When we were in revolved triangle, we were deep in the IT band, and now we're in revolved half moon. I'm trying to do it all good. Because I'm filming myself, I'm trying to get my back leg up, but whatever, just be here in a way that makes sense to your body. These intervals, in case you were wondering, are 45 seconds each. And it's long, but not too long, in my opinion. Alright, we're going to windmill our feet and our hands like that. I just did that move that was sort of like something in Karate Kid. Coming into Warrior 2. Now, in Warrior 2, importantly, our hips are facing the side, okay? Really, this is a hip opener this way. And yeah, we're doing the same kind of lunging form with our arms up and our shoulders back and down the back. Maybe looking over this hand. But it's not a lunge. This is what I tell all my classes. It looks like a lunge, it looks like we're doing a lunge, but we're not. What we're really doing is calculating our weight, sending half of it this way and half of it this way. It's a balance. It's a balance. Ready? Now we're going to do the same pose, but in the air. Ta-da! Half moon. I like a block here because my arms are shorter than my legs. I guess some people don't like a block. To me, the block makes sense, but you know, if you don't have one, then don't worry about it, I guess. What we are trying to do here is get our hips square to the side. Really the same hips as in Warrior 2, only now we're in the air. I'm getting tired. It was a hard workout. And I'm breathing. Mostly I'm talking, but hopefully you are breathing. Good, okay, so we're going to turn our hips to the front, take that back leg down, arms go up. Do you see that my heel is up in the back? I got my heel up in the back, and I'm like wiggling my feet until I find a place where my hips are really square and sturdy towards the front. This is high lunge. When we did this approximate pose before, we were not in high lunge, we were in Warrior 1. We had our back heel on the ground, then we had our back heel off the ground, kind of like beaming the heart up towards the ceiling. Is a back bend. And as with our other poses, all our other standing poses, we're finding balance. It's about balance. Even though you got 2 feet on the ground, you're balancing your weight. All right, boycon forward, picking up that back foot, and this gets more complicated. We're gonna flex that foot, flex the calf, flex the hamstring. This sends us forward. I'm kind of making a chair pose with my back leg. The going forward part is not important. The getting the back leg up part is important. This is not Uttanasana, Lord of the Dance pose. It's hard. And we're breathing. Okay, come to a forward bend Uttanasana. This is an easy one, just a stretch. You can lean on your block if you want. As you see, my block has been chewed by animals. Got animals around here. So we did a ton of work on the backs of the legs. We really have been working the first chakra of the legs a lot. We're going to do it again in a minute. Right now we're just stretching. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a sec. Step back to plank pose. Lower down, hover, chaturanga dandasana. This is your hovering plank. Inhale over your toes. This is your back bend. If you got your knees on the ground, you're in cobra. If you got your knees off the ground, you're in up dog. Yeah, up dog. They're both good. You can just pick one, it doesn't really matter. Good, and then we're going to come back down to Chaturanga Dandasana, this is a hovering plank, and then push up. The only reason to do that, to add that extra Chaturanga, is just to build arm strength faster. Bottom of your right side, you're going to step or jump. I'm stepping. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, your knees are slightly bent, your arms go over your head. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Same exhale, lower down, hover. Inhale over your toes. Exhale, back to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Push up to your downward dog. Inhale, your left leg up, downward dog splits. Exhale, replace your left hand with your left foot. Back foot, you see my back heel is on the ground and my foot is out to like 60 degrees. Hips are gonna face forward. Arms up, warrior one. So on the first, when we did this on the first side, I didn't really have time to like talk about the actual poses. I don't know what I was talking about, something else. Now I'm gonna talk about the poses. Warrior one is so good. It's so good. It's like kind of a lunge, kind of a back bend, a big heart opener. It's nice on your shoulders. You know, maybe go like that. Get deep into your shoulders. I like to put weight in my back leg here. I like to sort of lean into my back leg like it's a post. And that opens the psoas all up and down here. All right, so now we're gonna straighten both legs. Your hips are still square to the front. You're gonna maybe take your block if you got a block. Lean on it in pyramid pose. My pyramid pose is very short. Because watch this, okay? Here's a long pyramid pose. Say I'm gonna do a long pyramid pose and come down like that. See my back? I'm rounding my low back. It's really not doing me a lot of good. I'm in my hamstring, that feels good, but this is not helping. So the way I do it instead is I like a short pyramid. I like to get my hips really square, and then I like to lean on something so that I get maybe just a little bit of lumbar back bend there. It's just nice. All right, so I'm gonna take this block forward and like up like that. And then, oh wait, no, I'm not balancing it. And then I'm gonna twist. Picking up my left hand. As with all twists, try to feel it in your abdomen if you can. For me, it's so intense on the IT band that I am really just kind of feeling a lot of IT band here. But I am trying to keep my hips square. The IT band is this, by the way, this. If you're a runner, or if you're like me and you were a runner, that's something that's just gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever to loosen up. And so, as such, we're not going to push it, right? We're not going to be mean to it. We're just going to touch it. We're just touching it. All right, here comes the really good one. Take your block forward. Pick up your back leg. We're doing the same twist in the air. For your entertainment, there's lots of pets around. And we're breathing. Basically, that back leg is doing like a warrior three. And we're doing a giant twist at the same time. Try and breathe. Try not to fall down. And by the way, if you fall down, it's no big deal. Just come back up. Wah! That's what I'm talking about. All right, windmill down. We're gonna do warrior two the other way. Move. So you notice my hips are facing away from you now. I'm doing warrior two on the other side. It's such a pretty pose. As I mentioned on the other side, it's a hip opener. Find that hip opener. Find this back foot, the back edge of the back foot. That's gonna be your stability. Really anchoring evenly in both feet. The spine is light. It's just a pretty pose. Good. And then going kind of forward, we're going to come to the same pose in the air. This is half moon. You're really trying to get those hips open in the air just by turning them exactly to the side, by lining your bones up on top of each other. If you're better at this than me, see if you can look up. I can't look up, I'm looking down. Okay, now what? Oh yeah, we're gonna come into this high lunge, that leg that was in the air. It's gonna come down, your hips are facing forward. Your arms go up, roll your shoulder blades back into the back. I love high lunge. This is seriously one of my favorite poses. It's not easy per se, but it is. It's such a nice stretch. It's just inviting your body to stretch, like that back leg. You're stretching from like your toes to your chin, pretty much. See if you can feel that. And the more you get your hips square to the front, the more you're gonna feel it. Good, okay. Coming forward, we're going to grab that foot. So I took you right into this pose last time, but it dawns on me that, you know, you could just stay right here. This is a wonderful quad stretch. It's so good. If you want to, you can flex that foot, flex the hamstring, flex the calf. This arm can come forward. Really, in my own practice, what I'm focusing on here is keeping those hips square. Trying to get my hips square, even though they're doing different things. And I'm trying to breathe. And I'm trying to keep a little tiny micro bend in that standing leg, which is not so easy, but it protects the joint. Ultimately, this leg that's behind me is going to come higher up. Not today, though. Okay, come down, forward bend. Breathe in here. Obviously, I'm not perfect at these poses. Like, obviously, I'm still working on them. And you know, I thought about it. Like, I was like, should I just teach the poses that I do, like, really, really well? But then I was like, no, because I would be too bored. I wouldn't want to do them anyway. So we're working on these together. I'm pretty good, but not great, you know? It's good enough. All right, I'm pausing that. We're gonna step back to a plank pose. And then we're gonna lower down. Here come your arm muscles. That's another hovering plank. Inhale over your toes. If you feel like you're working, it's because you're working. March is hard. We're coming back, Chaturanga Dandasana. We're pushing up, downward dog. And then we're coming to a cross-legged. Whereupon, we're gonna get into the core. Put your block between your knees. You know, I should have mentioned that you need a block. If you're using something that's like a block, but it's not a block, it's probably not gonna work for this, because you need something sort of light. You know, you don't need a block here at all. It's totally fine either way. Rolling your shoulder blades back and down the back. All the block is doing is just making me focus more on not dropping the block. And we're breathing. It's pretty intense and it gets worse. So you're hanging out with me and you see that I am not 100% loving this. It's okay. Okay, moving this. You ready? Are you ready? Take your arms like that. Oh yeah. 45 seconds of this is really gonna feel like a something. "15 seconds left." I was looking at it, I was hoping it was going to say like 5. Now it says 5. Okay. Put your feet on the floor, back of your head on the floor, shoulders on the floor, lift up your hips. Bridge pose. And now we are stretching the abdomen. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Stretching the abdomen. Okay, your hips come down. You're going to cross your left ankle on your right knee and thread your hands through for figure 4. Now we're deep in that left hip. It feels good. Figure 4. Breathing right down in here. And later on in the class, we're going to do a lot of pigeon pose. If you don't like pigeon, you got to remember this pose where we are right now, okay? Because it's the same thing. It's this version has just a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little kinder to people who have tight hips. Good. All right, yeah, that right foot comes down, hips come up, keep that shape in your legs, doing one-legged bridge. Now, one-legged bridge is putting kind of your entire body weight on that hamstring. This hamstring, your right one. If it doesn't feel good to you, in particular if you're an athlete and you run up mountains or something like that, be careful, maybe take your hips down, you don't have to stay up here. One time I was training for a half marathon, and I was doing a lot of yoga, and I did this in a class. It was a gentle yoga class. And the teacher took us here, and my hamstring just went boink. It made a noise like boink, and like basically broke. I had to sit on a couch for 2 months. So be careful, this stuff is not nothing. All right, hips come down, you're gonna keep this shape in your legs. Let that shape of legs go to your right until your left foot is standing and your left knee is pointing towards the ceiling. And now you're just, it's such a good, like big ribbony twist across your abdomen. So good. You can turn your head the opposite direction than your legs are going if you want to. So those 45-second intervals that are so torturous when we're doing like core work or something, really go by kind of fast when we're doing something like this. This is a good place to just be with your breath. Alright, bring your legs up. Let's just go to the other side. We're going to take our right foot onto our left knee, threading our hands through for figure 4. Getting into that right hip. I'm going to talk a little bit, and you're at a point in your practice where you can maybe just tune me out. That's the best. The best in a yoga class is if you just are like, that teacher is saying stuff, I don't hear a word. It's really good. Okay, so just tune me out. But anyway, I did have something to say, but then I tuned myself out and I just forgot. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. I have no idea. I guess we're just going to be with our breath. Okay, put that left foot down. Your arms go out to a T. Pick up your hips. One-legged bridge. If you're into the one-legged bridge, and if you're not, then don't do it. That is one thing I always say to all my students. And, sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. But really, this is the most profound lesson in yoga. The most profound lesson in yoga is how to not listen to your teacher. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And not like, I'm not going to listen to my teacher because my teacher is like trying to get me in alignment and I'm going to do the pose out of alignment. That's not what I mean. I mean, don't listen to your teacher when your teacher's like, you can do it. Don't listen to that. Just listen to your body. If your body wants to do it, then do it. If your body doesn't want to do it, then don't do it. There's no kind of merit or virtue or winning in yoga. Good, take your hips down. All right, we're going to take the shape of our legs, take it to your left until your left. Until your right foot is standing, your right knee is pointing towards the ceiling. Here's our awesome twist. Breathing deep into your abdomen is so beautiful here. Maybe turn your face away. Okay, come up, and then come onto your forearms behind you. We're going to ride our bikes. Shoulders back and down the back. When I'm in my classes, we always pretend like we're riding our bikes to somewhere, like in town. When we're at my house. If you were going to ride your bike around here, you would never. Because it's a dirt road that's on a steep hill. It would be the worst bike ride of your life. You'd have to have like a really serious mountain bike. It would still be terrible. But we can pretend like we're doing it anyway, because right now it feels a little bit on the terrible side. It feels terrible-ish. Okay, come on down. Come back to your bridge. We're doing great. Take your shoulder blades back and down the back. Bridge is such a nice pose. We're getting into a bigger back bend after this, but if the bigger back bend doesn't work for you, or if any of the back bends that are coming don't work for you, come here to bridge. It's a good back bend. Rolling our shoulder blades back and down the back. You see that? Getting into the thoracic spine. So nice. Got a little bit of leg work here going on. But compared to the leg work we've already done, it feels like nothing. It's no big deal. And you breathe in. Okay, watch this. Take your arms towards the ceiling. Take your arms towards the back of the room. Maybe you don't want to watch, maybe you just want to listen. I don't know. And then you're going to bend your elbows and put your fingers under your shoulders. Your fingers are pointing towards your feet, right? And then you're going to push up. And then this you might want to watch. So I'm in wheel pose. I'm going to try and stay here for the whole time. But if I couldn't, here's what I would do. I would be like, and then come down. And then I'd be like that. Okay, that's how most people do it. If that's your wheel, do it 3 times. The rest of us are going to hang out here. This is a big pose that takes a long time to learn. If you haven't got it yet, don't worry about it, it's coming. Alright, come down. Come onto your left side and put your right foot in front of you like that. And we're just going to go up and down with that bottom leg, getting into the inner thigh. And there's some precision to this that I can't even tell you about because I don't know it. It's Pilates. There's some stuff that they are like, make sure you do it like, I don't know what it is. We're just feeling our inner thigh working. Hopefully that's good enough. Now we're breathing. You can point that toe if you want. Or flex the foot. Yeah. Alright, come onto your forearms. Lift up your hips. It's dolphin plank. This is a real fun one. We're going to work the core here for 45 seconds and we're going to breathe. Poses like this, for people who don't do them, for people who just watch them, it looks like we're using our arms or our shoulders or something. We're not. It's core. It's core. 20 more seconds. Be with your deep breath if you can. I've been talking the whole time. I haven't pretty much done a deep breath the entire time we've been doing this. And I can tell the difference. I wish I was breathing deeply. I'm just talking. Okay, come onto your right side, onto your forearm. We're going to put that foot in front of us and just go up and down with the center thigh. See if you can feel it in your core too, maybe a little bit. Remembering our theme of non-resistance. March is about non-resistance because March is about change. The best way to embrace change is in a non-resistant manner. Alright, come onto your belly. Put your chin on the floor, 10 toenails on the floor, grab your hands behind you, roll your shoulder blades back and down the back. Now I'm doing a big old muscly cobra. I'm going to pick up my feet, at which point it is locust. We're going to rest after this for a little bit. This is the last of the big kind of working poses. This is back work. And thighs are shaking. I'm gonna call that a good thing. Alright, come down, put one cheek on the floor, pick up your feet and windshield wiper and back and forth. It makes sense that pets can't resist yoga because, I mean, you're lying down on the ground. This is their turf. They want to hang out. After this comes a whole bunch of back bends, so I really want to give you the caveat that everybody's back is different. Make sure that the back bends that you choose are the back bends that you should choose, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up into a cobra like this. Remember when we did all those sun salutes? Cobra was part of it. I'm on straight arms here. I love to feel the back bends here on the sides and the front part of the body. I like to take my shoulders back and down the back, see if I can get it into the thoracic spine too. What I'm trying not to do is crunch my low back, okay? I'm trying to make length in my low back. Now, this pose adjusts. You can come down like this like they do in Bikram and be on like bent arms. That's a different angle into your back. You can come like this, take your hands out to the side like they do in Yin. That's a different angle too. I mean, really, you're just looking for something that feels all right. Okay, come back to Sphinx. That's like this. Take your left arm forward a couple inches. Thread your right arm underneath it. Bend your left knee to 90 degrees. Roll your heart open towards the ceiling. You see what I did? That was just a fancy way of getting you into this supine twist, like this. We're approaching the supine twist from the top as opposed to the bottom. You're getting a big heart opener here. It feels nice. Okay, come on to your belly again, and then find a back bend that works for you, okay? I mentioned Sphinx. Sphinx is a good option. Or any of those versions of Cobra that I showed you before. Just look for the one that you're like, yep, that's mine. And find it and be with it. You notice that I'm wiggling here? This is okay. It's okay to wiggle in any pose. But especially this one, I kind of like to dip one shoulder and then the other, or whatever. Get into your back. If you want to. Or if it feels better to hold still, hold still. Okay, and then come back to your Sphinx. Take your right arm forward a couple inches, thread your left hand underneath, bend your knee to 90 degrees. Roll your heart open, it's so good. It's so good, it's so nice on your hip. It's so nice on your abdomen. If you don't feel good here, you're doing it wrong. Move your body around until you feel good. There are some poses that are like, I remember that boat pose we did where we were waving our legs around. I don't think that feels good for anybody. I don't think that's a feel-good pose. But I would say the majority of yoga poses, you really are supposed to find a place where you feel good. This is one. Okay, come on onto your knees. And here's how I'm going to walk you into camel, alright? You're going to grab your hands behind you, roll your shoulder blades back and down the back, see that? That was your thoracic spine, this is camel pose. I think this is as far as you need to go. This is pretty good right here. It's a big thoracic back bend. If you want to take your hands down to your heels, you know you can. And if you're doing this kind of camel, feel it in your psoas. Feel it in the front part of your body, opening up the front part of your body. It's so nice. Don't crunch your lumbar spine. Open the front part of your body and breathe into your throat. This is my favorite fifth chakra pose. It's a real nice one on the throat. Good. All right, come on up carefully. You're gonna put your hands down like this. I've got them all laced up. They're in a triangle. I'm putting my head in between the triangle. And I'm coming onto my feet like this. This is a headstand prep. I've got like 2 pounds of weight on my head, okay? I'm coming up. I'm going to do the actual headstand. Whoa. Let's see if I can talk and do it. If you want to, then do it. If you don't, then don't. And I like to do it with my legs apart because it makes me feel like I can balance better. I don't know why. It's about core. When your core is ready, your legs will lift up, but not before. In the meantime, you can do the prep thing. All right, so we're gonna come onto our back and take the legs above us like this. See what I'm doing? I'm doing an upside down forward bend. I made this up. It's nothing. I just like it. It's a nice stretch for the hamstrings. I like the stretch on the low back. Just hanging out here. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you have your period, don't do a headstand. This is just gravity. It's just logic. All right, put your toes behind you. And now we're in plow pose, halasana. If you like it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Likewise, if you want to take your legs up into the air and find a shoulder stand, only do this if you can feel nothing in your neck. I've been working on this pose for like 10 straight years. I'm at a point where I can feel nothing in my neck because my shoulders are strong enough. If you're not there yet, don't do a shoulder stand. Stay in plow. If you've got neck issues like I do, I have crazy neck issues, you want to be really careful here. And I'm like moving my legs around just because I like to, but you do not have to. I think it's kind of an interesting, yeah, whatever. All right, roll down and come into child's pose. We're going to do a double child's pose here. We're going to do a child's pose for 1.5 minutes. Breathing into the sinuses. And this, by the way, is the difference between doing a class that you're taking as opposed to, in my case, doing yoga by myself. And when I'm doing yoga by myself, I tend to hit the hard stuff and not do the easy stuff, which is stupid. That's the backwards way to do yoga. These are the poses that really teach us this stuff right here. I'm going to stay here for another 45. Okay, come to a tabletop. I'll pause this for a second. Inhale to a cow lift. Drop your belly, melt your heart forward. Exhale, cat tack. Had a cat here a second ago. Inhale, cow lift. Exhale, cat tack. Inhale, cow lift. So nice you feel all that work that we did on the back. We did so much more. Exhale, cat tack. Inhale, cow lift. Exhale. Lift your hips up, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm going to turn this back on. So, downward dog. If you feel downward dog in your shoulders, it just means that you don't do as much downward dog as I do. If you do downward dog 200,000 times, you will never feel anything in your shoulder again, and you'll feel like you can take a nap here. But, and you know, I'm not talking about shoulder injury. I'm not talking about like twingy kind of stuff. I'm talking about like if your shoulders are mad at you, like if you're like, when can I stop doing this? That kind of shoulder feeling, that goes away. It means that you're building muscle here. That's good. So just breathe through it. If you do feel like you're hurting yourself, then you probably are hurting yourself. Don't do that. All right, we're going to take whatever foot for you is forward that would turn you to the side like this. Okay? Coming to the side for Prasarita Padottanasana, straddle forward, hold. Breathe here. You know you have a block, or maybe you don't. Then you can lean on it if you want to. And we're breathing here. You're going to keep doing this. I'm going to let the cat out. One last pet. Should have done that before. Okay, and then you're going to walk your hands forward a little bit and put your knees on the ground. See what I'm doing? Chair split, see that? You're going to put your feet behind your knees. And hang out here, this is frog pose. You're trying to get to a place where you do feel some intensity in your groin, but not to a place where you feel too much intensity in your groin. You'll know. If your knees are really mad at you, it means you're taking the pose too seriously. You need to come up a little bit. And come down like this. Okay, put weight in your hands. And then we're gonna mirror me into this shape, okay? I'm on this knee, I got this leg out straight. I'm putting this hand down, this is kickstand. Take some time to get it right. Move your hand and your knee and your foot until you feel like you're in balance and you're not stressing out any joints. And then start to make some big circles. This is our shoulder stretch. It's a nice shoulder stretch. Come move the direction that your face is pointed. It's going to change the stretch. Maybe switch directions. Okay, and then walk your hands forward like this, and we're just going to kind of awkwardly go to the other side. Finding the same pose to the other side. When you are comfortable, you start moving this shoulder. Make sure your knee and your wrist are okay. Get your weight balanced right. Yeah. And then switch directions if you haven't already. Okay, and then we're gonna come like this to an upward tabletop. I get to the upward tabletop however you want. That's kind of a weird transition. Upward tabletop is exactly what it sounds like, an upward tabletop. If you feel like making this harder, I don't. At this point in the practice, I do not. But I'll show you what that would look like. You would straighten your legs, come into an upward plank. This is pretty intense on the calves. I'm going to do just like this, the upward table. Breathe in here. Good, take your hips down. That was intense stretch to the east, so we're going to go right to intense stretch to the west. You're going to take your hip flex and kind of like pull it back like this. If you have a strap, you might want to use it. And if you don't have a strap, you know, like you don't have to buy a strap. You could use a tie or something. Or you could use nothing. You don't need this. I just like it. We're opening up the legs. You can feel that. And I'm trying to use this strap in such a way that I am getting a little bit of a back bend at the same time as I'm coming forward. I'm releasing here on my T-bands. I'm definitely releasing my hamstrings and my calves. And I'm trying to find just like a tiny little back bend. For tight hamstring people like me, oh, we're doing two here. We're gonna go again. For tight hamstring people like me, the low back release just takes forever. But see if you can find it. All these yoga poses, all these asanas are multitaskers. We're doing multiple things at the same time. So although this is primarily a leg stretch, if you get your alignment right, you can do a back stretch at the same time. And that's really what we want. That's what we want. The dog is excellent at yoga. I watch him all the time. He does down dog and up dog. He stretches all the time. He can do whatever he wants with his body. Okay, release that. I'm gonna pause this for a sec. Cross your legs and come to the table. Spread your fingers apart. Inhale to a cow lift. Exhale, cow tuck. Inhale, cow lift. Exhale, cow tuck. Inhale, cow lift. Exhale, lift your hips up, downward dog. And then you're gonna put whatever foot forward that would have you facing me. You know, for me, this is my right foot. Put my right foot forward, and I got both hands to the inside of that right foot. And here's our pose. I'm gonna turn my timer back on. Doing lizard. Now, lizard pose is a low lunge that's stretched way out, and you can keep that back knee up like I have it here, or you can put your back knee on the ground. You can be up on your straight arms, like I am here, or you can come down onto your forearms. You can have this knee pointing up, or if you want, you can point your knee to the side and get a little deeper into that hip. whichever version you pick, try to get a place where your hips are kind of squarish. It's a little bit of a strange made-up pose, but see if you can get your hips kind of square and feeling good here. Whatever version of the pose you're doing. Good, and then put weight in your hands. We're going to Spider-Man into the back, finding the same exact pose to the back, lizard. You got both of your hands to the inside of that foot. Your hips are square, and you're just feeling like how you want to do this. It's about your hips. You figure that out. Yeah. Okay, and then straighten that front leg and square your hips. And this is half Hanumanasana. This is remember when we were doing the cheerleader splits before when we were going to the side and frog pose? This is cheerleader pose, front to back, like the scissor version. If you are super flexible, you can take this back knee back and start working on the actual splits. I am not super flexible. I'm going to be on that back knee, really focusing on my hamstring, trying to find some low back here too. Stop. He's a puppy. He's 2 years old. So he never quits. Okay, let's do it to the front. Spider-Man to the front. Same thing. Finding your, it's so good. Yeah. Releasing the hamstring. See if you can release the low back at the same time. Square your hips. That's just nice. Okay, from here we're coming into a pigeon pose, and you can do it that same direction. I'm going to do it in this direction because I'm going to hit the gaming console over there if I do it that way. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my leg and I'm bending it underneath me, and I'm putting my weight down into it. Now, I'm going to talk for a long time about pigeon. And first I'm going to give you the caution about it, which the main caution is careful of that knee. That comes from somebody who hurt her knee doing pigeon. I know for sure that you need to be careful of your knee. You need to flex this foot, and that engages the muscles around the knee. But the main thing that's going to protect your knee is your brain. If you feel like this pose is coming into your knee, it's because you got tight hips and your hips are trying to... Alright, well I'm going to get back to that in a second. So take this back leg, the leg that's behind you, and put it at either 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whichever... Whatever, I don't know what direction you're facing, so it's either going to be 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and you're going to come down like this. Parivrita Janusarasana, it's a beautiful pose, it's a twist and the forward bend, and if you want to use your strap, you know you can. Ah, so nice. See if you can find that low back at the same time as you're finding the hamstring and the calf.
Activity completed.
No, it's totally not. I just ran out of timers. Okay. Take it forward, same leg. Forward like this to 12 o'clock. And then this foot is still bent, kind of like in the same pigeon form. Coming forward like this. And you're figuring out how you like it. So there are a lot of rules about pigeon pose. And the 4 poses that we've just done have been all kind of variations of pigeon. And I'm a little bit controversial about it because I let people do pigeon a little bit wrong. And I do pigeon a little bit wrong because my hips are so tight that it doesn't really let me in the way that you're supposed to do it. I'm going to show you something in a second. Alright, so come up like that. Really, we're supposed to be at 90 degrees. We're supposed to have this foot, this is where we're going now. This is double pigeon. You see this giant gap here? This means that I have tight hips. And I probably should put a block there. If you want to, you can put a block there. And what we're doing is we just built 2 pigeon poses on top of each other, and we're coming forward into the hips. If this dog is annoying you, welcome to my life. Imagine what it's like to be me. This goes on 24 hours a day. Breathing into your hips. Okay, so the leg that's on top, it's going to go down in front of you, and you're going to take that other leg back behind you. This is pigeon pose again. So here's what I was trying to say about pigeon. Technically, the correct way to do it is to have this front knee at a right angle, and you're coming down like that. For me, I just can't do it. I cannot do it. So it's impossible for me to tell other people to do it if I can't do it myself. My angle is much closer to 45 degrees, to be honest. And I'm coming down, and I'm like, because Angar, if he was here, he would like hit me with a towel or something for saying that. That's just not good form. But I'm going to tell you that you can do it like me if you're careful. Be careful. Be careful of your front knee. Don't hurt your knee. Be careful. Yeah. Because it's worth it. It's such a big hip stretch. Okay, put your weight in your hands. You're going to take that leg to either 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whichever one you didn't do before. Turn your body in the direction of it, and come on down. Breathing into your low back, breathing into your hamstring. Breathing into your calf. Breathing into your abdomen. I haven't really talked very much about the digestive system in this class. But anytime we're doing these twists, this is a twist, we're getting deep into the abdomen, deep into the digestive system, cleaning out some junk that you don't need anymore. And we're breathing. Good, okay, take that leg in front of you to 12 o'clock. So this foot is still just kind of like tucked in there. I'm going to turn my belly button in the direction of that knee and come down. It doesn't matter, like toe touching, it doesn't matter. In this or any pose, it does not matter. You can use your strap, or you can just kind of like hang out. It really doesn't matter about touching your toes. If you can touch your toes, you're just kind of using them as a lever. But the main thing that you're thinking about is this lumbar spine. Find some lumbar spine, even as you're releasing the leg. Okay, and then we're gonna do this double pigeon. I'm turning, you don't have to turn. The double pigeons just means you're making one pigeon pose on top of another pigeon pose. You're making your foot on your knee and your knee on your foot. Athletes, and I'm going to just group men in with that category of men and athletes, tend to have a lot of problems with this one. If it doesn't work for you, try cross-legged. Cross-legged is basically the same pose, okay? We're looking for something inside the hips, and we're breathing into it. Good, okay, take your legs apart. And then we're going to come down like this. Upavista Konasana. It's a groin opener. It's a adductor stretch. It's a low back stretch. We are finding whatever we need to find here. And some people can put their head right on the ground. I kind of can't. I like to put my forehead on my thumbs like this, because that's your sixth chakra, the front part of your brain, your sinuses, intuition. Let's send some breath there, it's so nice. Okay, come down on your back and put your arms to the insides of the thighs and the outsides of the shins. This is Happy Baby. That's going to be our last pose. Maybe rock side to side, breathe down into your kidneys. All we did in this class is the same thing that we do in every single class. We just tried to like get into weird places in your muscles that you don't normally work or that you don't normally stretch, so that we can clean toxins out of them. That's it. That's all we're doing. But the effect of doing that is so tremendous. It changes not only your body, but your life. All right, that's enough with the timer. We're gonna come into Shavasana. Shavasana is pretty important. I'm gonna go ahead and do a Shavasana with you, even though this feels so weird, because it's just a video. But we're gonna do a Shavasana. You're gonna lie down on your back and I'm gonna say some stuff. And you're gonna feel it. And you know, the stuff that I'm gonna say is, it's gonna be hard for me because I'm gonna kind of put myself to sleep as I say it, but we'll see if I can do this. All right. Settle in. And feel deep relaxation in both shoulders. You're imagining it. Imagine deep relaxation in both shoulders. And then imagine a color, like a white light or a golden light in your shoulders. And then the same thing in your hips. Just feel that relaxation in your hips and just be with it. Give it a light or a color. And then from your right shoulder, feel that relaxation moving up the right side of your neck. Bringing the light with it into your jaw, into the side of your face, into the side of your head. And then feel it coming down your right arm, to your right elbow, to your right wrist, to your right hand, to your right fingers. On the left side, feeling that light in your shoulder. Feel it going up the left side of your neck, to the left side of your jaw, on the left side of your face, on the left side of your skull. And then feel it going down your left arm to your left elbow, your left wrist, your left hand, your left fingers. And feel that relaxation and that light going from your left shoulder to your right shoulder. And from your right shoulder to your left shoulder, both to the front of the body and the back of the body. Moving down to the hips, relax both of your hips and feel that light in your hips. And then feel it moving down from your right hip to your right knee, to your right ankle, to your right foot, to your right toes. And on the left side, from your left hip, to your left knee, to your left ankle, to your left foot, to your left toes. And feel the relaxation moving from your left hip to your right hip, and your right hip to your left hip across your body. And feel it going down into your glutes and down the backs of your legs. And then feel that relaxation moving up your body. So like we're pretending like it's our light, right? Light that's white or golden. Feel it filling up your abdomen, that light. Relaxing the front and back of your abdomen. Feel it filling your middle body. Relaxing your diaphragm. Feel it filling up your heart and your lungs and your chest cavity. Light. Feel it filling up your throat. Feel it coming into your jaw and the back of your head and the muscles of your face, the muscles of your eyes, muscles of your forehead. Feel that light filling up your whole head. Feel it filling up your whole brain. And then wiggle your toes and fingers. Wiggle your wrists and ankles. Inhale your arms towards the back of the room and your feet towards the front of the room. Exhale, bend your knees and roll onto your right side in the fetal position and stay there. And breathe. It was going to keep you in Shavasana longer, but that dog just started licking himself and we didn't want to listen to that, so we're moving on. Come on up to seated. Take your hands to your forehead like this. Breathe into your sinuses. Honoring every cell in your body. That's the privilege of yoga, you know, that right there. Take your hands to your heart. Breathe into your lungs. Dedicating our practice to each other. Even though you're virtual and I'm virtual, someday somebody's going to watch this video and I dedicate my practice to you. Dedicating our practice also to all people in the world who are doing their best. On behalf of everyone who benefits from your yoga, especially your family and your friends and your coworkers, and your pets, I want to say thank you for practicing. Namaste.